Hello everybody, Mckenzie Hagland here. Today I want to take a little bit of a step back. You know, I've gone through this big change in my life over the last couple of years, and I know I want to share it and, help other people create the same kind of change that I have. So, I've started doing videos, but I've been thinking about what is it that I want to talk about every day? How is it that I want to help people? And with all the reading I've done and the research I've done, there are 7 key areas that I think each of us needs to focus on if we want to create powerful change in our lives. I know for me personally, I now come from a place of much more authenticity. I'm much more curious and excited about life. I don't struggle the way I used to. And I want to help each of you get to that same place. Help each of you live your life with more joy and more fulfillment, to to have endless energy and really love and care about the people in your lives. So, as I've gone through this process of change, I've done a lot of reading and research. I've done a lot of personal work to get from where I was to where I am today. And, the more I look at it, the more I have realized that there are 7 key areas that we need to focus on if we're going to create change. If we're going to go after and be excited about the life it is that we want, our dreams, our hopes. And so today I want to share with you those 7 key areas. And then I'm going to talk a little bit after that about how I'm going to structure my channel, because I think we need to focus every day on these 7 key areas. So let's first talk about the 7 key areas. Key number 1 is gratitude. We live such busy, complicated lives. I know a lot of times we forget to pause and be grateful. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and they said to me, the truth is life gets in the way. And I don't think it's that life gets in the way. I think it's that we allow life to get in the way. I think we can be grateful in every moment for the things that we have. We just haven't gotten in the habit of being grateful. We're so caught up in what we don't have, and where is our life difficult, that we don't pause and think about what it is that we're grateful for. Maybe it's just our children laughing, or taking time out to be with our spouse. We get so caught up in our own lives, we forget to open up our lives to the people around us. So really, how is it that you're focusing on gratitude in your life? The second key is taking care of yourself. So many of us don't take care of ourselves. We don't love, we're not tender with ourselves. And I think that's the second key if we want to find happiness, is we have got to learn to love the person we spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year with. We have to learn to love that person. And I know for me it was a struggle. In the beginning, when I first started this journey, I hated myself. I asked myself, why are you such a failure? Why are you always procrastinating? Why aren't you achieving the things you want to achieve in your life? And what I didn't realize at the time was the person I was looking at in the mirror was broken. She had a lot of healing to do. And instead of helping her heal, I blamed her. I yelled at her. I shamed her. How can any human being grow in that kind of an environment? So I think key number 2 is learning to love yourself and care about yourself. The third key is about being courageous and living fearlessly. It's hard to be fulfilled in our lives when we're okay with status quo. Most of us know we're capable of more. We know we want more out of our lives, but we don't take the steps to go after and get what it is that we want. So I think key number 3 is really to step out of our comfort zone. Decide what it is we want and take the steps in that direction, to be courageous and fearless. And I think when we come from that place, we are much more fulfilled in our lives. So that's the third key. The fourth key is about our well-being. This is a big area. Our well-being talks about our physical health, our mental health, spiritual health, our financial health. For me personally, I struggled in all of these areas. I think about how I was overweight, and that affected me every day, and I was in debt, and that affected me every day. Think of the weight we carry when we constantly have to think about these things. When we're always saying, "Oh, I'll change tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow." We need to do it today. We need to start creating change in our lives and focusing on our well-being today in the moment. So key number 4 is focusing on our overall well-being in our lives. The 5th key is our relationships. We don't always foster the relationships in our lives that we need to. How often do we get combative with our spouses or our kids or our parents or even our friends? Instead of fostering and creating powerful communication between us and the people in our lives, we're actually putting up barriers and walls. Because what is one of the scariest things for us to do in our lives is to be vulnerable. I think to find happiness and to be fulfilled, we have to learn to be vulnerable with the people that we care about the most. And we don't always do that. So key number 5 is to learn to communicate and be vulnerable and foster the relationships with the people in our lives. Key number 6 is going to be about your purpose. Why is it that you're here? How is it that you're focusing on that purpose? It can be anything to you. I know for me, a lot of people want to start a business, or they want to volunteer more, or they want to be a better employee and take the next step in the corporation that they work for, or the company they work for. It can be anything that creates purpose for you. But how often do we not stay focused on that? Yeah, I always talk about the dog in the movie Up, and he's like, "My name is Charlie, and I'm happy to meet you." And then a squirrel runs by, and he says, "Squirrel." We allow that to happen so often in our lives. We get excited and passionate about something, and then somebody says something to us that's hurtful, and we're like, "Oh." And then we lose sight of what it is we want and what our purpose is. So how are we staying focused on our purpose, staying focused on what it is that we really want in our lives? So that's key number 6. Key number 7 is the one I'm personally most excited about, and that's having fun in our lives. We often forget to do that. We think, seriousness, we got to get stuff accomplished. We have to pay the bills and, do what's necessary in our lives, and we forget just to have a good time and have fun. What is it that you have been wanting to do in your life but haven't followed through with? Do you want to spend more time playing with your kids? How many times do we shoo kids away and say, "Oh, later, we'll do it later"? What if we did it right now in the moment? What if we played in the moment? This can mean anything. This can be, I know for me, I spend a lot of time on meetup.com. If you've never been there, go there. I have met so many amazing people. Last night I went bowling with a group of people, and I don't think I've laughed that hard in a really long time. But it was me taking time to say, I need to have a little fun in my life. I can't always be working and be serious. I have to laugh and have a good time. So key number 7 is about, what are you doing to have fun in your life? So what I want to do with my channel is reconfigure it, create videos every day around each of these topics. So for example, Sundays is going to be about gratitude. How are you creating more gratitude in your life? How are you focusing on the things there are to be grateful for? Mondays are going to be about you, about learning to love yourself and care more about the person you look at every day in the mirror. Tuesdays are going to be about stepping out, about getting courageous and being fearless in your life. Wednesdays are going to be about your well-being. How are you being healthier? How are we getting out of debt? How are we simplifying our lives, getting rid of all that excess weight so we can really focus on the moment and be present in our lives? Thursdays are going to be about your relationships. How are you communicating better with the people you love? How are you being vulnerable? Fridays are going to be about your focus and your purpose. How are we reconnecting with that every Friday? I know I like to plan out my next week on Fridays because then, I have the weekend free to do what I want to do. I'm not thinking about what I have to accomplish next week. I've already made a plan. And Saturdays, going to be all about having some fun. How are we checking off those bucket list items? What are things you've been wanting to do for years and you're not doing? How are you creating more laughter and smiles in your life? So that's how I'm going to restructure my channel. I'm going to try and do a video a day on each of these topics and share what I've learned with you and hope that you'll share what you know and what you've learned back with me. Together we can create so much more happiness and fulfillment in our lives. Again, my name is Mckenzie. If you have found this video helpful or inspirational, I ask that you please click on the like button. Better yet, if you want to walk this journey along with me, I ask that you subscribe to the channel. Let's do this together. There's so much more power in us working together than us walking this path alone. Thank you.